Did you know that even the most inconspicuous and small habits, such as getting out of bed right away in the morning, have a global impact on your success and prosperity in life? The world-famous neuroscientist and professor Andrew Huberman, who conquered millions of internet users with his most useful tips, proved that even the slightest regular action programs our body to achieve success, and vice versa, to absolute failure. Imagine if you were given access to a unique algorithm of consistent and proven actions with which you could achieve any goals and become successful in any field. Would you like to have access to such unique information? You are lucky to have discovered this video, since now we will tell you about this unique algorithm, which was shared by Andrew Huberman. If you watch this video to the end, you will immediately understand how to fully unleash your hidden potential and use it to the maximum. Friends, before we start, please like and subscribe to the channel. Andrew Huberman is a professor of neurobiology at Stanford University. His uniqueness lies in the fact that he is able to magnificently explain complex scientific concepts in simple words and get his point across to every listener. Thanks to him, ordinary people can easily understand heavy scientific concepts and use them to improve the quality of their lives. Throughout his career, Andrew Huberman has contributed immensely to the development of brain plasticity and neuronal repair. Having thoroughly studied the neurobiological system of the human body, Huberman has become the only professor who through his knowledge has been able to derive some very important principles and tips that are guaranteed to lead a person to wealth and success. Now we will tell you about all these principles and tips. Stop snoozing your alarm in the morning. Even such a minor habit as snoozing the alarm for a few minutes has a global impact on the quality of our life and success. Each time we postpone our awakening for a few minutes, time after time we complicate the task for our organism, which is trying to wake up. We return our brain to the beginning of the sleep cycle, which lasts an average of an hour and a half. But a few minutes after, the alarm rings again. We pull our brain out of this unfinished cycle again, and it happens over and over again. This is a great stress for our organism, which further affects our performance throughout the day. We feel more tired and sleepy, which affects our productivity and success in life. Next time your alarm clock rings, stop putting it off. This will not only make our bodies work better, but it will also boost our self-esteem, as we often blame ourselves for putting off the alarm clock and not waking up on time. It will also pump discipline and self-confidence, which will increase self-esteem and self-respect. Friends, admit it. How many times do you snooze your alarm clock in the morning? Write your answers in the comments. Your success starts in the morning. If you woke up right away the first time, then you're already one step ahead and better than 90% of people who postpone the alarm for later. Reward your body with a glass of water. It will start metabolic processes. Next, try to go outside for 10 or 20 minutes immediately after waking up. Thanks to the bright natural light, your body will release hormones, namely cortisol, which will promote wakefulness and concentration. Then after 12–14 hours, the production of melatonin in the body will increase, thanks to which you will be able to fall asleep faster and improve the quality of sleep. If you go out for a morning walk and find that the sun has hidden behind clouds, then do not worry, because in any case, you will receive the necessary portion of light energy. But if you are lucky with the weather and the sun is shining brightly in the sky, then it is not necessary that sunlight falls directly into your eyes. Such morning walks are useful because your body will wake up faster, starting the process of releasing hormones, and the resulting sunlight will adjust the sensitivity of your retina so that artificial lighting in the evening, for example a computer screen or phone, doesn't disturb your sleep. This daily practice will make you as productive as possible throughout the day, so that you can complete the maximum number of tasks, thereby getting what you want faster. Act at the right moment. Now that you have woken up, completed your entire morning routine, and are ready to start working productively, you should know the following principle. Our body has a 90-minute cycle of productivity when all our senses and mind are focused on the maximum. It is very important how you start these 90 minutes. For the first 10 minutes, you need to fully concentrate and tune into work, because for the first 10 minutes of each cycle, your brain will try to ignore what is happening and be distracted by unnecessary things. If you do not succumb to the provocations of your brain and learn to immediately focus as much as possible and immerse yourself in the process at the beginning of work, then your brain will begin to get used to a state of deep concentration, and subsequently, throughout the entire 90 minutes, you will learn how to quickly and effectively complete tasks without being distracted by extraneous things. After an hour and a half of concentrated work, allocate 15 minutes of your time to rest. During this period of time, you need to try to disconnect as much as possible from all external factors in order to fully restore the body and nervous system. Andrew Huberman emphasizes that it is the ratio of time that makes a person very flexible and productive. Train your willpower. Throughout the day, we have to deal with different tasks, some of which are important to complete, but we don't want to do them. And we do the other part of things with great pleasure and desire. It just so happens that a person's life is often tied more often to those tasks and actions that we really don't want to perform. And it is for this reason that most people cannot become richer, more successful and achieve what they want. If you too have ever had to deal with such a categorical lack of desire to complete certain tasks, then one piece of advice from Andrew Huberman will definitely help you, after which it will be easier for you to cope with everyday tasks. So, at that moment when you absolutely need to do something, but have absolutely no desire or strength to do it, then count to 3 and immediately start doing it. That is, literally force yourself to do it, at least for the first 5 minutes. Then, when your brain realizes that it has been overpowered, it will give you the strength and motivation to finish this job. You just need to train willpower in the opposite direction, when you want to do something that is not very useful. For example, pick up the phone and surf social networks, or for example, finish a pack of unhealthy chips. Do not do this under any circumstances. Throw the bag of chips in the trash and put your phone far away in the closet. Doing this every time will create friction between your limbic system and your forebrain, which will be a great workout for your willpower. After a while, you will be surprised when you notice how easily you can solve any, even the most complex tasks and affairs. Negative visualizations. Andrew Huberman argues that we should not rely only on positive visualizations. Of course, we're all used to visualizing our beautiful future, but not everyone takes action to arrive at what they want. Huberman argues that creating negative visualizations can help in such a case, as fear-based motivation can be very effective. Try thinking about the negative consequences if you don't take an action or complete a certain task. Think about what you're risking if you don't do it. We usually try to keep negative thoughts out of our minds because it causes anxiety and discomfort. Of course, it is much more pleasant to visualize positive images of how wonderful it will be if you do it, what positive changes will happen in your life afterwards, how you'll be envied, and so on. However, such positive visualization may not always work. Whereas an emotional response from negative thoughts can come much faster and work more effectively, consequently better motivating you. Andrew Huberman advises writing down on paper all your fears and negative consequences in case of inaction. Feeling the discomfort and fear of a negative future will give you powerful motivation that will take you to the next level. Friends, if this video was useful to you, then like it and share it with your friends.